The Galactic Empire invaded Earth, but humans had already evacuated. The Galactic Empire had conquered 317 worlds. They had destroyed civilizations that had existed for millions of years. Their fleets had never been defeated. Their soldiers had never retreated. So when the Empire finally arrived at Earth, they expected another easy victory. Instead, they found something impossible. No armies. No weapons firing. No desperate transmissions. No governments begging for mercy. Earth was completely silent. The Empire's commander stared at the blue planet on the tactical screen. Where are the humans? His officers searched every major city. Nothing. New York was empty. Tokyo was empty. London was empty. The factories were silent. The military bases were abandoned. Even the smallest villages appeared deserted. The commander smiled. They ran. He didn't know it yet, but humanity hadn't run away. Humanity had been preparing for their arrival for 73 years. And the Empire had just walked into a trap. Chapter 1. The Empire Arrives. The first Imperial fleet entered the solar system at 4:17 Galactic Standard Time. 2,000 warships emerged from hyperspace. Behind them came troop carriers, mining vessels, orbital weapons, and enough firepower to destroy Earth's largest cities within minutes. At the center of the fleet was the Imperial flagship, the Dominion. Commander Varric stood before the main observation window. Earth filled the glass. Blue oceans. White clouds. Green continents. Beautiful. Primitive. Weak. At least, that's what the Empire's database said. Planetary civilization classified as Type 1, reported Lieutenant Sarah. Military capability? Moderate. Space fleet? None. Varric laughed. Then this will be finished before dinner. The Empire had encountered civilizations like Earth before. Species that had discovered nuclear weapons but had never mastered faster-than-light travel. Species that fought among themselves. Species that wasted resources on politics, borders, and ideology. To the Empire, such civilizations were not enemies. They were future territories. Varric gave one command. Begin occupation. Hundreds of Imperial landing ships descended toward Earth. But something strange happened. There was no resistance. Not even a warning. Chapter 2. The Empty Planet. The first Imperial soldiers landed in Washington. They expected soldiers. Instead, they found empty streets. Buildings stood untouched. Cars remained parked. Lights were still glowing inside some apartments. Food sat inside restaurants. A television was still playing in an abandoned house. It was as if everyone had disappeared at exactly the same moment. Commander Varric received the report. Population. Unknown. Casualties? None. Enemy forces? None. Varric frowned. That makes no sense. He ordered the soldiers to search underground facilities. They found abandoned military bases. Empty command centers. Empty missile silos. Empty research laboratories. Then they found something that changed everything. Inside an underground bunker beneath Colorado was a computer. It was still operating. On the screen were 3 words. Project Homecoming. Varric ordered the system accessed. A recording appeared. A human woman looked directly into the camera. She appeared to be an engineer. My name is Dr. Elena Carter. If you're watching this, then the evacuation has succeeded. Varric leaned forward. The woman continued. 73 years ago, our scientists detected something beyond Neptune. Something that wasn't natural. We discovered an artificial signal. Then we discovered something worse. We weren't the first civilization to receive it. Dr. Carter paused. Every civilization that responded to that signal disappeared. Varric's expression changed. The recording continued. So we made a decision. We stopped trying to defend Earth. We decided to leave it. The screen went black. For the first time, Commander Varric felt uneasy. Chapter 3. The Great Evacuation. The Empire searched Earth's historical records. They discovered that humanity had been preparing for evacuation long before the invasion. But not openly. The project had begun in secret. Governments stopped competing over space technology. Scientists from rival nations began working together. The world's greatest engineers disappeared from public life. Then something extraordinary happened. Humanity built generation ships. Not dozens. Not hundreds. Thousands. Hidden inside asteroids. Buried beneath oceans. Constructed inside the moon. And finally, humanity discovered how to travel beyond the solar system. The first evacuation began 30 years before the Empire arrived. Families were moved. Scientists were moved. Archives were moved. Seeds, animals, machines, factories, entire ecosystems. Humanity didn't evacuate a city. They evacuated a civilization. By the time the Empire arrived, Earth had been empty for 6 months. But there was one thing the Empire didn't understand. Why leave Earth behind? Why abandon their home? Why not simply fight? Varric demanded answers. And then his scientists found the second message. Chapter 4, The Warning. The message was not addressed to the Empire. It was addressed to humanity. A human scientist appeared on screen. Earth is not our fortress. It is our decoy. The Imperial officers looked at one another. The scientist continued. We discovered the Empire long before they discovered us. We studied their expansion. We studied their military. And we studied their greatest weakness. The screen showed a map of the galaxy. Hundreds of worlds were highlighted. Then the scientist pointed to them. Every civilization the Empire conquered had something in common. They resisted. They fought. They defended their territory. So the Empire learned to expect resistance. The scientist smiled. We decided to give them something they had never encountered. Nothing. Varric's face hardened. What are they talking about? Then the scientist said something that made the room silent. We didn't evacuate because we were afraid of the Empire. We evacuated because we wanted them to believe they had won. Chapter 5, The First Mistake. The Empire occupied Earth. They installed orbital stations. They raised the Imperial flag. They announced across the galaxy, humanity has fallen. Thousands of Imperial citizens celebrated. News networks called Earth another effortless victory. But deep inside Imperial territory, something strange began happening. Supply routes started disappearing. Military communications failed. Automated factories stopped working. Navigation systems began reporting incorrect coordinates. Then Imperial colonies began receiving mysterious messages. One sentence, repeated again and again. You should have left Earth alone. The Empire assumed it was psychological warfare. They were wrong. Because humanity wasn't attacking the Empire's soldiers. Humanity was attacking its infrastructure. Chapter 6, Humanity's Real Weapon. The humans had spent 73 years studying the Empire. They knew its ships, its communication systems, its economic networks, its supply chains. Most importantly, they knew how dependent the Empire had become on its centralized technology. The Empire controlled billions of people through one interconnected network. Humanity had built something different. Independent systems, independent colonies, independent factories, independent communication networks. If one world fell, the others continued. Humanity had learned a lesson from Earth's history. Never build one system that can destroy everything if it fails. The Empire had done exactly that. And now humanity was pulling the system apart. One piece at a time. Chapter 7, The Galaxy Learns the Truth. 6 months after the occupation of Earth, the Empire lost 12 colonies. Then 30. Then 80. No human fleet was ever detected. No human army appeared. No human soldier was captured. The Empire was fighting an enemy it couldn't see. Then one morning, the Empire's central communication network went offline. For the first time in its history, the Galactic Empire became blind. Commander Varric demanded answers. Where are the humans? His intelligence officer whispered. We don't know. Find them. We can't. Then find their ships. We can't. Find their homeworld. The officer hesitated. We already did. Varric looked toward the blue planet on the screen. Off. No. The officer swallowed. Earth was never their home anymore. Chapter 8, The Fleet Returns. 3 days later, Imperial sensors detected something beyond the edge of the galaxy. Millions of ships. Not thousands. Not hundreds of thousands. Millions. They emerged from hidden jump points surrounding Imperial space. At first, Varric believed they were separate alien civilizations. Then the ships activated their identification systems. A single symbol appeared. A blue planet. The human fleet had returned. But humanity was no longer the civilization the Empire had expected. During 73 years of preparation, Humanity had spread across hundreds of star systems. They had built new technologies, new civilizations, new fleets, new alliances. Earth had been the seed. Humanity was now the forest. The Empire had invaded an empty planet, while the humans had been building an entire galaxy. Chapter 9, The Final Message. Commander Varric received one final transmission. Dr. Elena Carter appeared again. But she was older now. Much older. She looked directly into the camera. Commander Varric. You wanted Earth. You have it. Varric stared at her. Then why are you attacking us? Dr. Carter shook her head. We aren't. She pointed behind her. The camera moved. Thousands of alien representatives stood together. Species the Empire had conquered. Species the Empire had threatened. Species the Empire had forgotten. They were all standing beside humanity. Dr. Carter spoke again. You thought you were fighting humans. You were wrong. We've spent 73 years helping the worlds you conquered prepare for freedom. The transmission ended. Varric finally understood. The invasion of Earth had never been the beginning of a war. It had been the beginning of the Empire's collapse. Chapter 10, The Humanity Effect. The Galactic Empire lasted another 11 months. Then it broke apart. Not because humanity destroyed every Imperial ship. Not because humans became the strongest species in the galaxy. But because humanity had done something the Empire had never considered possible. They had made allies. Humanity didn't conquer the galaxy. They connected it. World after world declared independence. Former enemies joined together. Former prisoners became leaders. Former Imperial soldiers abandoned their weapons. And eventually, the Imperial flag disappeared from Earth. The planet remained untouched. Its ocean still moved. Its forests still grew. Its cities waited silently. Because humanity had made a promise. Earth would never again be a battlefield. It would become a memorial. A reminder of the day the galaxy learned one important lesson. Never judge a civilization by the weapons you can see. Ending, the final HFY payoff. Years later, children from hundreds of species visited Earth. They walked through empty cities. They saw museums filled with ancient human technology. And at the center of the largest museum stood a simple plaque. It contained only one sentence. When the Empire came for humanity, there was nobody here to fight. Below it was another sentence.
Because humanity had already gone somewhere the Empire could never reach. The stars, the future, and beyond them, an entire galaxy waiting to be explored. Humanity hadn't survived the invasion. Humanity had simply refused to be there when it happened. And that was the day the galaxy discovered the most dangerous thing about humans. They didn't need to win every battle. They only needed to make sure they were fighting the right war. Humanity was never trapped on Earth. Earth was simply where the plan began.